Hi everybody, this is Miguel Rubio Lastra for the podcast KodigoK. En el episodio de hoy vamos a tratar de desmitificar un poquito el tema de los estudios chinos, porque tenemos una invitada que ella es china, ha trabajado para estudios muy internacionales, también ha trabajado para estudios más locales, más pequeñitos allí en China, y nos va a hablar de este tema. Además con mucho conocimiento de causa, porque ella es reclutadora o captadora de talento especializada en arte. La entrevista se desarrollará en inglés, que es la lengua vehicular que se utiliza mayormente en los estudios de videojuegos y de animación en todo el mundo. Disfrutadlo.
Hi everybody, we are very lucky today because we have somebody from the other side of the world if we compare with Spain. And this is some place that we don't know so much about that, and so we are very lucky today to know more about that. She has been working in this industry for 5 years. She was working 2 years in Riot Games. Now she's working as art recruiter in Dardo Studios from September 2024. So welcome to XinMing Tang. How is everything, XinMing? Sorry, can I name you XinMing or Lexi? What do you prefer?
Both works. It's just my Chinese name is quite hard to pronounce it, like between the Western peoples. So that's why sometimes, you can also call me Lexi. It's both of them works. I'm open to.
Okay, so how is everything, XinMing? How is there? You are in Beijing, right?
Yes, I am, and everything's very nice. Yeah, thanks for asking. And I'm really glad to be here to share my experience, and hope it's gonna help someone. Probably.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure about that because you have a lot of experience with this, and you have, and you have been in the human resource, always in recruiting and focusing. You have been focused in the art part. So that's fantastic because you have this kind of background. How did you get this kind of like speciality in the background?
It's quite a long story actually. I'll try to make it short. I started when I was in the UK. I did my undergraduate degree, and it was focusing on social science, and which is totally not related to any like money making or any direction to a job probably. And after I graduated, I was thinking like, hey, what I'm gonna do with my life, with my career. So I was thinking about, I was a gamer since I was 3 years old. I was playing family computers and playing Contra and Tank Wars, and so I'll try to break into the game industry. So since then, I went to Japan and I enrolled a CG modeling course, which based in Tokyo. And I was very lucky to learn how to make 3D model in the school. And after that, I came back to my home, which is China, and I started to try to break in the industry. And as everyone knows, it's quite hard, even during that time. So at the beginning, one of my friends introduced me to join some kind of a museum, and I started as a museum assistant, which is totally not related to the game industry, but you need to pay the bills, so you need a job. And during that time, I never gave up. I keep like building up my own skills and still trying to find a way to break into the industry. So the chance finally came in the 2020s, and I joined PolyQ as an art project manager, and they asked me to help them to build up their project. It was a costume changing project. Like Infinity recently published by Paper Game, something like that. Like you have your own character and you can like change your clothes and to social and to build up your characters. And in that game, I in charge of some kind of the 3D modeling, and I also help to plan what we are gonna make And also because it's a really small startup studio, we were like only 10 people or something.
But
so
you
we were
worked
quite
in a
short.
studio?
So I was quite so it was quite short-handed. So I was like being assigned to multiple tasks, which including 3D modeling and helping with the hiring and dealing with outsourcers and so multiple jobs. So since then I found out, okay, it's quite fun to hire
You got
people.
a lot of experience there.
Yeah, it's so fun. And so I started to thinking about why I'm not like trying to be a full-time recruiter. So after, unfortunately, the project didn't went well. So after the company like facing shutting down, so I was like trying to find a new job, and I joined the Recruit game, which is a maker of party animals, animals fighting game, you know?
Yes.
And in that company, I talked with the CEO like, okay, I have art background and I'm very interested in recruiting. So can I like get a position like specifically on hiring artists, because I know what they're doing and I can talk with them like more professionally than normal recruiters. So he was like, okay, let's try this. So that's how I started becoming a real art recruiter, like
specialist in art. I see.
Yeah, so I have them
for 2 years or 1 year, right?
In Recruit game, I worked for like almost half year, 1 year and 4 months something. Yeah, like after they published their game, and there's not much new work to do as a recruiter, because the team is fully built, and I already have them to build their art team. They don't need hiring that much. So during that time, I found the chance to join Riot Games. That's how I went.
So you jumped to the first, I mean, for one of the top studios in Singapore.
Yeah, I just
it's Riot Games Singapur.
Yeah, it was like I was just thinking about my career again during that time, because there's not much job for me to do, and I was thinking, okay, I cannot be like this. I need to be productive. I'm a really like kind of hardcore person. I need to be productive. I don't like to be like nothing to do and just just getting paid, or it that feels right. So I was like thinking, what should I do with my future? So I was like, during that time, the Arcane first season was released. So I watched Arcane. Of course, I know League of Legends before, but I'm not a big fan of mobile game. I didn't play it much. And after watching Arcane, I think, okay, this company is super cool. So I'll try to apply it. So I just sent the email to the Riot game, and Hannah, which was the recruiter, replied me like, okay, we have a position in Singapore here, and we want someone be able to speak Mandarin and also be able to speak English and have experience in art hiring. Wow. So okay, that's me. So I just say, okay, let's talk. After the talk, we like each other, and that's how I got the job. Yeah, and from that, that's my first job as like I work remotely, which is really cool because I got more time to spend with my family and to be able to traveling around and to be more flexible instead of like every day get into the office. And I think it's pretty cool. And I learned a lot from the big company, like to know how they get everything done.
Because I guess the structure is very. I mean, the structure, the pipeline, how they work, the structure they follow. I guess it will be very.
I think that's thing you never learn from school. You definitely need to join one of those like big companies to be able to learn that, and it's a very valuable experience, and I really love that. But unfortunately, and we got the big layoff. Everybody know it, and I'm one of that. So and after that, I spent 4 months in the art training course, which was held by one of those Riot artists, and I learned concept design during that time to like take some break, kind of.
So you have like a portfolio also for art.
I have. Even before I joined before I become a recruiter, I got like art portfolio. When I was in Japan, I learned 3D modeling, so I got 3D modeling's portfolio. And after I finished the course, I got some concept portfolio.
Beautiful.
But I feel like it's still difficult to like transfer my job direction to concept artist or full-time artist.
Really? It's so hard. Why do you think it's so hard? Because I think if you have a good quality with your works, with your portfolio, it shouldn't be very right? Or why do you think it's difficult?
Because it's so competitive, and I don't think I'm good enough for that. I sometimes I do make like part-time contract work for some small project, like probably run by my friends. They will give me the opportunity to work with them, but not those like commercial and more big titles. It's so far I feel it's impossible for me, and also I've kind of quite enjoy to talk to people, So so I think if I change my career, like to become a full-time artist, I'm not be able to like talk that much. So
yes, you're right. But don't you miss the work in office? Because
not really.
You have so much time on remote. No.
Not really. I think like online is easy enough. When you play video games, you always like play it with your friend online sometimes. So I think it's not a big influence that I work remotely or on site.
I see.
I like if there is office in my country and I can go there like probably 1 or 2 like
you can
days
go
of the week. It's cool. I think I can see my colleagues. It's cool. But if you think about the morning traffic, the traffic jam and those kind of stuff, I'm definitely prefer remote.
Yes, you can avoid this kind of huge problems.
Yeah, and normally your hometown is probably not the big city for the game industry. So if you want to work on site, you have to like move across the world to somewhere. You don't have friends and you don't have your family.
You're right.
So yeah, I think remote is better for me.
Yes, you're right. Incredible. And how about and after that, so you get the class, the courses, this kind of courses, you practice your concept, your concept.
Yeah, I think
profile.
you can't like be a professional concept artist just after 4 months training. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So because the artists work for like decades to become a professional, so you cannot like beat them up like within 4 months. It's just not possible. So after that,
at least you have this kind of concept. I mean, you have this kind of view that if you are working as a recruiter, if you can do as a concept artist or as a 3D artist, it will be fantastic because you have this kind of background.
Yeah, I think that course helped a lot to give me a view of like what kind of concept art is good even than before. So it's quite helpful. And after that, I'm starting to look before it finished, I started to look for new jobs. And yeah, during that time, one of my LinkedIn friends talked to me like, hey, there is a studio called Dardo and they are pretty cool. You can give it a try. So I sent emails directly to Kenny and the CEO of the Dardo Studio, and we have a talk, and then I joined. That's it.
Good. And I think it's a very, 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 very huge. I mean, I checked their website and they have a very, very nice portfolio. And what they are doing is they do outsourcing, and at the same time they offer a kind of like mentoring. Is what I understand, or maybe I'm wrong. Is what they do also?
Yes, because we see like some junior artists are just lack of experience, but they are quite solid on their craft, and they have the passion and they care about the industry, and they just need a chance to break in. So sometimes we offer the training for the artists who join us to be prepared for the commercial projects.
And how's the training that you do? Because, for example, here in Creativate, we have courses like 3 months private mentoring. I mean, it's one by one with the mentor, and it's for 3 months. How about there in Dardo? Is like you have also like one face to, I mean, one to one, or is like courses like other platforms? What do they do in Dardo?
They're like working on some kind of project to get practice, to know the how is it like to work in the industry, to know the process, and to be able to get ready to become like industry quality, and guided by the art lead,
I see.
Something like that.
It looks very, very nice, very nice. So basically what you are doing in the art recruitment is you work with the teachers there, I mean with the artists there, or also you work to get maybe students?
Normally I'm just trying to help to build up our talent pool and to find good people who have the potential to join us, and that's it. So it can be including both of the like contractors, full-time artists, and students, and anyone who have the potential to be collaborate with us. And
I see. Good.
So my goal is find all the good artists around the world, and all of the potential ones.
Yeah, my God. And how do you manage the schedule? Because the time schedule, I think they're based on the States, United States, so it's around 12 hours the difference. So how do you manage that? Do you have meetings with them, or every week, or not? You just have some kind of like
it's quite similar compared with what I did when I was in Riot, because some of my colleagues were in, for example, UK and New Zealand, and people are from the whole world, and we just try to find some time to be able to think every week, to have 1 or 2 meetings to be together.
I see.
It can be tricky, so sometimes I have to like get up super early or stay up late, but it's worked for me. I don't mind that, so it's cool.
And do you use any kind of like platform to do the pipeline? For example, you use or Discord or Sira or Trello or any other platform you use for the pipeline, or not? Or what do you use for the communications?
You mean all the applications?
Yes, the applications that you use.
Yeah, I think most of them I'm using is LinkedIn, because almost all of the good people are on LinkedIn.
I mean for you, for your internal work into the studio.
Just some Excels and something like that.
I see.
Or Airtable, very common stuff, not some fancy technology. No fancy technology.
Yeah.
I'm quite old-fashioned. I think it's not important what kind of tool you are using. I think it also works for artists. For example, concept or 3D. The most important thing is the content you are creating, and what you are doing is not what kind of tool you are using. So I don't think it's important, but I think some recruiters are really good at like study of the tools and the scripts and AIs, but it's not me.
I see. And what kind of, for example, when you are checking the people for the talent pool, what do you check? Is the portfolio, or the experience that they have? Is what kind of games they have been working with, or what do you think is more important for example, to recommend for somebody who wants to jump into the industry?
It's always going to be the portfolio. Portfolio is everything. And also, if you are like looking for a lead role or something like director, manager, you need to be experienced to show you'll be able to lead the team. So in that case, you need to have some good experience on some big titles or good titles.
I see.
But if you are like a junior and you try to break in, so I think portfolio is only important things. Probably sometimes they will look at if you have the internship or not, but portfolio is still the most important things among all of the other features. Yeah.
And into the portfolio for 3D artists, because when I see some in station, for example, portfolios people, I see a lot of talented people, a lot, with very beautiful sculpture or environments. But I don't. If I were in how to say recruitment, I didn't know how to choose people. What do you see, or what do you take in this portfolio? Maybe the rigging or how is the final results? What do you take in the portfolio if you want to?
It depends on what kind of project I'm working on. For example, if I'm looking for someone is gonna join the team working on League of Legends, so I definitely gonna choose someone already show that they can make this kind of style, and so the style would be one of the feature I'm looking at, and also like their craft is the most important thing among all other features. Like if they have solid craft, for example, how the human body, the structure and the perspective, something like that. The very, very basic artist craft is one of the most important things. And also the sense of beauty is also important. Yeah. So it really depends on the project. I think actually there is no bad art in general, because every artist is trying their best to expressing themselves. So all of the arts are good, probably in their point of view. It's just sometimes it's probably not suitable for the project, or like for now. Probably there in the future there's some project like their art is perfect fit, but it's just not for now. So yeah, I see. So because I have I listen so many times that if you want to, for example, to apply for some position, it's better you to check first what kind of art this studio have, and you compare their results with your own portfolio. Is that true, or is anything else that you think that is necessary or is not so necessary? For example, if I want to apply to League of Legends, it's not necessary to have some piece like League of Legends. Maybe I can have more like realistic. What do you think about the style? It's like not 100%. For example, if you are like all of your portfolio are realistic, but your craft is like super solid, and you worked on so many big titles, and also you have good experience, and you can show that you are very creative, you are really good at design, and then they will probably consider and to send you the test and to let you show you can also do this kind of style, for example, League of Legends style, because it's totally different. And so eventually you need to show you will be able to ready to work.
Yeah.
So I think if you are like trying to break in the industry, so it's definitely a clever idea to study what kind of style they are making your goal companies, and to try to make that kind of content into your portfolio, so they will like see, okay, you're already ready to work, you are able to do that. So I think it's quite a good idea.
I see. And do you always in Dardo, do you have art test for the new, if you have new positions, or this is not necessary? Maybe you see something in the portfolio and you say, nah, this guy, she doesn't need to have an art test.
I think basically you need to do an art test for every art position. Yeah. But right now I'm not really in charge of the process of like hiring these people, and we have hiring managers to do that. So I'm not very sure if there's someone can like avoid the test. I don't know.
I see.
But in Riot and in my previous experience, like Recruit Games and even PolyQ and artist is 100% and it's necessary.
A must. I see.
Yeah, and sometimes you get paid for that. For example, in Recruit Games, like we are paying those candidates to do the art test, which is quite nice because like we're thinking like we're using their time to do this. We're already sure they're good artists, so yeah. So sometimes we pay for them for the test. But sometimes I don't. I think you're not gonna pay for the test. I don't know.
Yeah, probably most of the times you can get paid, but yes, it's a very good practice if you can pay the candidates. Of course, sure, will be fantastic. How about the concept artists? When you check the portfolios of the concept artists, don't you think that most of them are more like closer to illustrators than concept artists?
What do you mean they are closer to illustrators? They're like more like illustrator?
Yes, I mean because it's also something that I have seen so many places that people say is that they insisting that we don't want illustrators, we want concept artists. So concept artist is somebody who can iterate, who can change the design to move in another direction with this kind of flexibility. And maybe illustrator is this kind of guys, like they do the K art or the final result, they polish the sketches. How do you do there in Dardo when you check the portfolio, or you just only check the technique of the result is really good?
It's totally different position.
I see.
For during my career, it's always different position. Like it's totally separate. So if I'm looking for illustrators, then I'm looking for illustration work. And if I'm looking for concept artists, then it's concept. It's totally separate.
And what is the concept artist? What do you check in the concept artist portfolio?
As I said, the craft is always the most important thing. So you need to be good at the basic to show you are an artist, and also the idea of design and the sense of the beauty and the style and your creativity. Probably, yeah. I think that's important thing.
I see. Because I thought maybe it's different from the 3D artist. So, but basically, it's the same, right?
I think in the industry, no matter what you do, VFX, animation, and concepts, and 3D is always important to keep improve your skill on what you are doing, and the craft is always the fundamental of everything. And beyond that is the creativity, like how you make it like more unique, more attractive. Yeah. I think it works on all of the like jobs titles.
Yes. And
beside recruiter, of course. Beside recruiter is not one of those.
Yeah. And do you know if there is any kind of difference between the artists that for video games and for animation movies, or
it's totally different. For example, the workflow is different. Like if you want to make an anime, or you want to make a game or a movie, the workflow, the process is totally different, and the software you use is different. So everything is different, and art style, it can be also different. Sometimes somebody worked for a game, for example, worked for animation, probably can transfer to game industry because there are something in common, but it's always going to take some time to get them to be able to like work in the team. Because the workflow, the software, everything is different. They need time to adjust. They're happy to
even for concept artists is so different.
Yeah, it is different because the art style is totally different. For example, you see Disney characters and you see League of Legends characters. It's different. And the design can be different because, for example, in games, most of the games are 3D now. And for example, you are making a 3D game. The concept artists need to know what kind of design are being realistic in 3D. Because some of the design are cool, but they are not realistic and not project friendly when they become 3D in game industry. Because in game we make 3D and put them into the game engine, and it's totally different in animation, because it's like finally rendered. So it's not real. It's not like real time. Real time engine, so it's different. So during the design part, it's already separated. So the way the thinking are different.
I see. Okay. Xinming, let me know. Can I ask you about, for example, so many Western people, they would love to go to China to work, but the problem is that they don't know Chinese, or maybe they don't know much about the culture. Because for me, it's like, for Western people or European people, with a Western background, Chinese culture is not very known, and at the same time, for Chinese people, the Western culture is not very known. So, what do you suggest if somebody wants to go to the Chinese field, to the Chinese?
Oh, I see. I think it's I think this is same. It can apply to anyone want to work abroad. For example, if you want to go to Japan, or a Japanese want to go to America, or want to go to China, Korea, I think it's all the same. Like, first of all, you need to learn the language. It is obviously the most important thing. I know some artists is like super good on craft, so the company arrange a translator for them. But it's like only one or two, because they are super good and they're not replaceable. But for others, like normal people, and if you want to like move to another country to work for them, you definitely need to learn the language. For example, you want to work in China, you need to learn Chinese, which is quite hard. I know. And
it is.
Like, you want to go to Spain, you need to learn Spanish, and you go to Japan, you need to learn Japanese. And besides that, and I think everything's the same.
Yes, it's the same. But don't you think, is there any kind of like different, like for example, the policy that you use in the companies is any different between the Chinese studios and for example, you have been in Riot Games, what is more international, or it depends on the studio? So what do you think? What is your experience about that?
I think every studios is trying to be more international recently. Even when I was in Riot Games, we got so many outsourcers from among the world. For example, from France, from Spain, and also America and German. So it's more based on the studio than if it's Chinese or not, right? I don't think it's matter anymore. Studios are becoming more and more international. So you want to join them, sometimes you don't need to like move to the country. You can work like remotely, like me and also some of my colleagues.
Yes. How about the indie games studios in China? How is so many studios there?
There are so many of them.
And where is the place that they concentrate more? Is more like in Guangzhou or in Beijing, or where is, we can say, the center, the Silicon Valley for
the center? Like in America, I think is LA for sure. In China, it will be Shanghai.
Shanghai, I see.
Yeah.
Is any other small town there in China, like with video games?
And Shenzhen, another one.
Shenzhen, I see.
Yeah.
So Shenzhen
Beijing is like a desert, so there's nothing.
Yeah. I see. So if there is somebody who wants to go, they have to focus in Shanghai or Shenzhen.
Yeah, and there are also other small studios like among the whole country, so it's not for sure. I'm just saying they got most of the industries studios there, and most of the talents are there. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Good to know. And Xinming, what is your usually your daily life? What do you how do you do in your daily life? Because I'm curious, because you are working on not on remote, but I guess you don't have like any kind of like a schedule, like timetable, like they I guess I don't know, of course, but they will not tell you you need to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. right?
Yeah, some of my colleagues is actually doing that. They are like have a fixed working hour, so like they're telling everybody like I'm gonna work from what kind of time to sometimes. For me, I'm quite flexible. I don't think it's a good hobby, but I'm a quite flexible person, so I'll set a fixed hour and try to and when I achieve these hours and work seems done quite well today, so I'll just finish my job today.
So good. So you can say today I want to sleep a little bit more. So every day could be you can move, right? That.
Yeah, I got a fixed hour for every single day. So when I finish that, I think it's if there is not something emergency I need to do right now, so I just call it a day.
Lucky you. And what do you do? I mean, during because when I was talking to other artists, they are working at home. They need to focus a lot on their schedule because, for example, it's easy to be distracted or to jump to or to talk to your parents or to move, or you need to have other things. How do you manage that part? Are you very experienced with that or not?
It's just self-control, I think. So yeah, you just need to work hard on that. Yeah, there are many like something can be destructive because my working computer also got Steam, got the games. It's just there, so it can be destructive, but
it's very hard for you to do that, to control.
Oh, not really. I'm quite used to that. So it's already been almost 3 years. I'm working remotely, so I think it's cool.
I see. So you know how to work with that.
Yeah.
I see. And are you thinking, for example, or are you planning or in future maybe to move to another country to work, or you love to be there at home, and for you at the moment is fine?
For sure, I'm open to move around because this in very interesting world. There's so many, during my experience, I know so many colleagues from among the whole world, and they all have very interesting backgrounds. So I would love to go there to see their country. If there is chance, for sure, I would love to, like, for example, move to Spain for 1 year and move to Japan for another 1 year. It sounds cool, right?
It's the best, I think. To move every year, you move to some place. You can work there.
I love to talk to people, and I think every country have their own specific features. You definitely need to live there to be able to know that.
So, how many countries have you been? You have been in UK and any other place?
Oh, so many. UK.
I've been living.
Living. It's only UK and Japan. That's it.
And in Japan, yes. And how many years did you were in Japan?
It was like 1 year something, 1.5. I think it's only for the training course for the 3D modeling. Yeah.
And what do you miss from UK and from Japan? Anything you miss?
You mean what I miss from the UK?
Yes.
To be honest, I don't know if it's stereotype or something. I miss the sandwiches.
The what?
I think the sandwiches. I think
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's yummy. But for all of my friends are laughing at me, like, they got the worst food, but I really love it.
Yeah. For me, it's a surprise, really, because I think that the Spanish food and Chinese food are really, really, really incredible. And in UK, I think they just only.
Yeah, I've been to Spain, and I also miss paella. It's tasty.
Yes,
but I also miss the food in the UK. It's just a very unique taste, and also the vinegar chips. and even the marmite, the one is like you spread it on the toast. It tastes quite weird. Somebody can't swallow it, but I really miss it.
Oh, I see. Good to know. Good to know. That's And how about in Japan? Where did you go? Where did you be in Japan? In Tokyo, Kyoto?
When I was studying, my school was in Tokyo.
In Tokyo. And anything you missing there?
The convenience. They got the convenience store everywhere. Like 5 minutes, you go downstairs, you get into the convenience store, and they got everything. And it's 24 hours open, so it's quite cool.
Not in Beijing?
We do have those, but it's not that much as like in Japan.
I see. And and how did you do for example, from the weekends? Do you have very good environment with other colleagues, with other students? You go outside. People is outgoing there in Japan, or how is people there?
Oh, in Japan, I think actually they are quite nice. Some people probably saying they are quite shy. I think you just need to ask. I tried to talk to strangers on the streets in Japan, and they were quite shocked. But they were lovely to be able to talk to you, and I think they're quite nice. And also my classmates, they're super nice, and we hang out during the weekend, joining the game shows and to play video games together and to go shopping. And I think it's just like any other country's young persons, the same.
Yeah, you're right. I think young people usually are very nice and very open-minded. Good and outgoing. Yes.
Yeah.
Good to know. And Xinming, let me know just to finish. Anything that you, for example, for people they are listening the interview with you, anything that you can recommend to those people that they want to jump as a juniors into the industry? I know you have talked about so many things, like to focus on portfolio. Of course, the portfolio is the most important, but anything else that you can add for that, but to focus in something specific, or maybe to some, you can say, now in Shanghai there is a lot of new starters, new studios. Focus, pay attention there, because new studios there. It's a sample, I don't know, of course, but anything you can say with us.
Yeah, I think people need to be brave to present themselves to the companies. I think that's very important, and I think a lot of fresh graduates don't have the courage to send their CV to the recruiters or to the company. They're just like lack of confidence, and I think people just need to be confident and in the same times keep working on what you are doing and keep improve yourself, and finally someday you will be able to break in to the industry. Probably not as the role you're thinking about, like me. And I don't know, I'm gonna become a recruiter at the very beginning, but yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. And how about, do you recommend people to apply if there is not a career? It's a vacancy. Is how to say in English, right? Vacancy. So do you recommend people to write even no vacancies there, or it's better that people or in recruitment department they don't pay attention to this kind of?
Just don't wait. The opportunity is not gonna come into you. Like if you really want to join the company, so why don't you send the email to give it a try? Even though they never reply you just send your portfolio to let them know you exist and you care and you have the passion and you want to join. Probably they're gonna see it. So why not try?
But by email, by LinkedIn, or any other platform that you think is more efficient?
I think everything you can do.
Yes.
It's just one click for it's just one click for you, and probably you get the job. So why not try it?
Yes, you're right. So to open more doors, it would be much better. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, So thank you so much, Xinming. Thank you so much for your chat, for sharing everything with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my experience, and hope it's gonna help, and hope
Sure.
it's can inspire someone. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. See you there.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.